Hey YouTube. So bright sunny day here in California. Feel for you guys on the East Coast with the storm and all. Hope that's going well with you guys. Have a new batch of knives that I just finished and some of the old one that I want to show. Yeah, so that's basically where I'm doing most of my work in the workshop. And yeah, so I have this new table, has these grooves, so I'm just gonna stick the camera in there and hopefully this will work out. Okay, so I think from the last batch you guys saw, but wasn't finished yet, was this one, and did a tan Kydex black on the other side. So black and white liners, G10, and Cocobolo on top. When you first grind this, it's brown, but then after a while, some kind of reaction happens on the wood and the surface turns orange. So, I'll have to pull this out. This is kind of the shape. It's a great EDC blade. I've been carrying this, rides well. I have one of these Sportsman Association clips, just goes right in your belt. Two brass pins and aluminum. You could see it, like each run I do has kind of a type of style. So for this run it was this format of pins. So it's comfortable. Prepped a lot of food with this. I think something's going well with my 1095 heat treat because it still had an edge. It didn't chip. I did a lot of food prep over the weekend for it, for Chinese New Year's. And I could still shave after this, after all that. So hasn't been touched up, works fine. Rounded spine. So yeah, I'll give you guys a close-up of all of these at the end, but this is just kind of a quick run through. This was the one that broke in the heat treat, or cracked. So this part used to be blade, and this was meant for a 3-finger knife. So I just kind of ground this out, so now it's a full hand knife with a tiny blade. Probably be good for shop work or whatever. Looks more like a tool now than a carrying knife, so maybe just leave it in the shop. Cut whatever. This is Padauk wood. Again, you can see the 2 brass pins and the big aluminum pin in the center with black G10 liners. Yeah, there's tape on the blade because I took it back home and I didn't want to cut up my bag and I didn't want to make a sheath for it, so you just put a piece of tape and you just cut the top and bottom so you have a blunted edge. But you don't actually have to blunt your edge, you could just peel off the tape and it'll be just as sharp as you had it. So that's it for the knives that you saw last time. This is some of the newer knives that I worked on just this week. So we have kind of a, I'm not sure all the blade style names. I want to say a hunter type style knife, 4-inch blade, 4-inch handle with a big aluminum tube. So I saw this at Home Depot, thought I'd get it. Yeah, it's hard drilling 1/2-inch holes in steel. So you just gotta go slow. I stepped up from an 1/8-inch bit to 1/4 inch to 3/8 and then a 1/2 inch to get this hole. I tried directly with a 1/2-inch bit on one of the knives and it just took forever. And I felt like I wore out too much of the drill bit. As you can see, I'm getting a little bit better with the grinds. Some of the other ones aren't as straight as this, but you can kind of see like a curve here. Just 1095. This is a 40 grit belt finish. And yeah, the wood on this handle is wenge. You see, it has a nice kind of like the topographical map type thing. You also get this a lot with G10 and micarta. But yeah, this was a really thick piece, so I was able to contour it a lot more. Yeah. Next one we have is a smaller version of that. You can see this grind didn't come out as well as that one did. Find it a bit harder on the shorter blades, just because you have less. I don't know, when you get on the belt, you have a couple. You have to find out what angle you want to hold it at. So you put it on the belt and you pull. It's a lot shorter on these shorter knives than it is on a longer knife, so I find shorter knives a bit harder. This wood polishes up really nice. It's a lot easier to polish than this. You can see how big the grain is on this one. So if you don't polish it real slow, you'll have the grain pop out. But this one had a real fine grain. It's real hard wood, and it doesn't even feel like wood. It feels like a plastic. It's very smooth. I believe this is a wood called Bois de Rose. It was sold to me as ebony on eBay, but then upon looking it up, it seems to be Bois de Rose instead. Again, you see that this week's knives all have this aluminum tube here for a lanyard hole and nothing else. Yeah, I thought I'd use more higher end woods this week. And here's a 3-inch blade with a 4-inch handle. So this wood I believe I've used before. It's Ziricote or Ziricote. I don't know, some of these woods have multiple names. Again, you can see the grind. Kind of like this drop point look and just one full curve. It's a bit easier to do. And yeah, see how beautiful that wood is. And then if you guys could guess the next one, it's not too far of a stretch. It's the same style, except with a 4-inch blade and 4-inch handle. This is olive wood. Sorry for the glare. I usually don't see knives with light handles, so I thought it'd be nice to put a lighter wood as a handle. This week all has no liners, just straight wood onto metal. Yeah, I was kind of bummed out last week, so I ground quite a few knives for this batch. Usually I do batches of 3 or 4, but this week I have 5. So the last knife that I have it's a real big one. I can't even put this back here. So I kind of took the handle of my stretched it out, and put the biggest blade I could on it. So this handle has a mid grip, a back grip, and a fore grip, depending on what you're doing. All feels real comfortable. You can see how thick that is. You can definitely, it really fills your hand up. And this wood is, I believe, Jatoba. You can see, I'm going to pick up the camera and show you guys.